Hi guys, Ace Face back with another video for Twisted Dice, and we've got something a little bit different for you today. This isn't necessarily your polished production, but we do believe that hopefully this will give you a little bit more information. Hopefully it'll be something that you'll enjoy a little bit more. And I know that when I had a catch up with Alex McDougall around Tyranids, it went down really well. So we've kind of taken a little bit of inspiration for that, and we're going to do something a little bit different today. So we're really excited here at Twisted Dice, and we've got an opportunity to review the new Custodes Codex. So what I've done is I've brought along Twisted Dice regular and member of the team and all-round amazing chap. Mr. Grant is with us today. Hello, Grant.
Hello.
Hello. So as you can see from his beaming face, Grant's really excited being a Custodes player, right?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah. So and I'll go on then. Go on. You just can't wait. Show us all. Who else has come with us?
My good friend Eric Campbell with us today. The Emperor. He's sat here beside me, and he's the moral support for the day of the channel. Yeah,
Yes.
His rules as well.
Amazing. I feel like under pressure. I feel like he's glaring right at me into my eyes. So even more. There we go. So what we're going to do today is Grant's not had a look at the book, so it's going to be a bit of reactionary stuff, which I think is going to be really fun for you guys, because we're not affiliated with Games Workshop. We absolutely love them to bits, and we'd love to be affiliated with them. So Games Workshop, please do reach out to us. But currently we're not. So what we will be is we'll be being brutally honest, and I've asked Grant to be honest. So if it's something that we don't think is great, or we don't think is an improvement, or we're don't like, we'll say we don't like it, and if we love it, we'll tell you we love it. We'll give you our warts and all honest opinion. And also, it is only first impressions. So Grant's hearing this for the first time. I'm not a Custodes player, so I don't necessarily know the impacts as much as some other players will do. So we're going to cover off the rules. We're going to cover off majority of the rules in the book, but to try and keep this dynamic, and so you're not here for 3 hours, we will try and make it streamlined as possible. There we go. And apologies in advance, as anybody that's watched my videos, or Darren, you know that our pronunciation of words is laughable at best, and I will muller every relic, every title throughout this entire book. So have a good fun and have a good laugh at me. It's all good, but I do apologise to you Custodes fans. And I am going to try and call them Custodes all through this review, and not Custodes, because I know it drives Custodes players absolutely insane. So I'm going to try my best, Grant, so bear with us.
Thank you.
So to get the ball rolling, could you give us a brief sort of outline of where Custodes are now, and kind of how they sit in the meta, what their strengths and weaknesses are?
Yeah, so first off, I could see the struggle in your face when you said Custodes there.
I'm going to get it wrong once, but I'm going to try.
But no, they're actually at the moment, with the data balance sheet that's come out, they're actually in a really strong place. I think we're currently like 3rd or 4th in the meta. We've got a good all-round. A lot of it sits on Dreadnoughts, Forge World Dreadnoughts, Talon it is, and sort of the Forge World Venatari. They're really strong with the stratagems that you can get extra exploding 6. Well, not the inherit exploding 6s, but they get more shots and things. They are really strong at the moment, and having the 2 denies at the moment is really good. We don't obviously take sisters really, sister science in our detachments, because there isn't a place at the moment. So it's really exciting to see now that they're going to be getting some troops. Obviously we know that from Shadowthrone and all the stuff that's come from the Games Workshop community page. So it's going to be really interesting to have some real cheap troop options with Custodes, because we don't have that anymore. We don't have anything we could sit at the back and just hold an objective that's not costing us 130 points, for example, just to sit there. So it's going to be good, and I'm really excited to see how we get on. Super excited.
Good. Well, that's what I like to hear. Hopefully you'll still be excited by the end of the review. So we'll see how we get on. So we're going to dive straight in, and we're going to talk about the detachment abilities. And obviously keep an eye on the camera, because you'll see the reactions directly from Grant as he hears these things. So it should be a lot of fun. Okay, so what we've got is we've got detachment abilities like in any other codex. And what this has is it's split between, we have the Adeptus Custodes, and we have the Athema Psychana, which is basically the keyword for Sisters of Silence. Okay, so Adeptus Custodes detachment gains the Emperor's Legion and Host of Heroes and Watchers of the Throne abilities. So they're the abilities that the Custodes get. The Custodes units detachment gains the Shield Host Fighting Style ability, which we've obviously previewed a little bit, so we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit, but they gain that as well. Adeptus Custodes infantry units and Athema. I'm just going to say sisters, because I'm going to muller it every time. Sisters troops units, detachments gain objective secure ability. This ability is described in the core. We know that. Each Custodes model counts as one additional model when determining controlling an objective marker, and that is cumulative with any other rules that make them count as additional models. So that's a new one, right?
Yeah, that makes. So objective secure on 6 models on
exactly
on a unit 3. That's nice. I like that.
That's big, right? Yeah, we like that. We like that. So that's a new thing. And then the sisters. So the sisters, these guys, they troops units of sisters detachment gain objective secured as normal. They don't gain the additional. So it's only your Custodes that get the additional one, but the sisters troops still get objective secured. So then you've got the Emperor's Legion. So Emperor's Legion, you can't, this is basically the restrictions bit that we're getting a lot more in a lot of codexes. So you can't include more sisters troops units than you do for Custodes. So you can't just have just troops of sisters and then take all your good stuff with Custodes. So you can't take more sisters troops units than you do Custodes, right? Just troops.
Right. Okay. So you can technically then take loads of elites.
Yes. So, but it goes on. You can't include more sisters HQ units than you do Custodes HQ units. And
so that's filled an army of Sisters of Silence.
Yes, so you can't do a whole unit of Sisters of Silence. They are exactly additional benefits for your Custodes. They don't allow you. We'll go on and we might find stuff that allows you to break that rule, but in the general detachment abilities, it's not allowing us to do that because you can't take more of them. And obviously, ultimately, if you took all sisters, you would be taking more of them. And then the last bit of it is you can't select a sisters model as your warlord, which again pretty much tells you can't have a sisters army, Grant. Sorry, mate.
Well, people that would like that, I prefer the Custodes side of things. So, but it's good. That makes sense. You wouldn't have a bunch of them running around because not a lot of them left.
Exactly. So then we have the Host of Heroes, and again, this is a standard sort of restriction we're seeing a lot. You can only include a maximum of one of each type of shield captain, i.e., Guardian, Alaris, or Virtus unit of each Adeptus Custodes unit in each Adeptus Custodes detachment from your army. So if you have multiple detachments, you could have.
Yeah, so we'll have one biker, one Terminator, and one normal footman. Okay, that makes sense.
Exactly. And then Watchers of the Throne. So for the purpose of Lookout Sir rule, each Custodes infantry and Adeptus Custodes bike counts as 2 models for each Custodes character models of the same shield host. You like that?
Yes. Yeah, because at the moment you take a unit of 3 and you lose. They're just useless. You lose one guy, that's it. They don't block your characters.
Yeah, so that's a nice buff. Nice buff. and then we have the shield host fighting style. So each shield host has its own way of waging war, suits a particular combat trait. All Adeptus Custodes units with this ability and all the models in them gain the shield host fighting style, as long as every unit in that detachment is assigned to that shield host and is assigned to the same shield host. That fighting style gained depends upon which shield host they were assigned to, as shown in the following pages, which we'll talk about in a minute. So basically, you gain a shield fighting style depending on which host you're in. Yeah. So that is that. Then what we have is some additional detachment rules, which we'll go into before we start talking about the actual fighting styles, because they're all cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm guessing this would be sort of like a replacement or same, hopefully. 5 up in one save and plus 1.
So that's the bit we're getting to. So these are exactly the next layer. So let me find them, because of course we have this lovely bit of Crusade Rules, which sits halfway in the middle of the codex for us competitive players. Right, here we go. So right, so all Adeptus Custodes units are assigned a shield host. When you include such a unit in your army, you must nominate which shield host it's from, and that will replace a shield host keyword. And there we go. So that's basically just telling you they all have to have a shield host. Then the abilities they get Aegis of the Emperor. So obviously that's familiar wording, right?
Yep.
And where you waiting to find out what it does? So the Aegis of the Emperor. Models in this unit have a 4+ invulnerable save.
4+.
4+ invulnerable save.
5+ is going to 4+. That's army wide. Army
wide. So that is anything with the rule of Aegis the Emperor, which I believe every single unit has. That's a Custodes, gets Aegis the Emperor, which gives them a 4+ save.
Vehicles and Dreadnoughts didn't used to get it, but I could be wrong. If it's changed in this, then
yeah. So maybe they don't, but so I would expect we'll look at it later. But I think probably the same stuff that got it last time has now got 4+ instead of 5+.
I mean, to be fair, we're already on 4s because of the +1, so it's good. Depending, the biggest thing at the moment from this, obviously we'll get to it later, is the shields on the Custodian, because if the shields are now 4+, which we think they're going to be going to, like everyone else, it's quite as good.
Yes.
Army-wide 4+, that's good. I'm happy with that. Do we still get our wound save though?
So the next bit, each time a model in this unit would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound, roll a d6. On a 6, the wound is not lost.
So that's just mortal wound overall. That's not just psychic.
No, so mortal wounds overall, 6 up, ignore.
Oh, I like that. Feel no pain against all the wounds. But how many are on the table at the moment? That's huge.
It's all right, isn't it? It's all right.
Yeah.
So 4+ invulnerable save and a 6+ ignore mortals. So pretty nice. And then we have Daughters of the Abyss, which is obviously your sister's rule. So this unit can't be targeted or affected by psychic powers. Each time a psychic test is taken for a unit, subtract 1 from the total for each unit with this ability that's within 18 inches to a maximum of -3. I think that's similar, isn't it? Is that similar?
I think that's the same. I'll be honest, I didn't really field sisters before. I think it's exactly the same, but it might have been 12 before, but I can't remember. If I'm honest, I don't ever really field them.
Well, they'll put it in the comments. People will put it in the comments. And each time an attack is made by a model in this unit, targets an enemy psyker or demon unit within 6 inches of it, add 1 to the attack's wound roll.
Oh.
It's pretty good, right? Because that's
as long as you're taking
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad. And then we have from this, and I think this is might be new or might not be, from Golden Light. So during deployment, if every model in the unit has this ability, you can deep strike, right?
Yeah. So from the Golden Light, it's basically your Terminators. Terminators. There used to be a stratagem as well that you could put things in the Golden Light. So you can get up to 3 models. So normally pick your Dreadnoughts in there and drop them down, and then Dread host them in, and then boom, finish.
Fine. And then the next, and then the last bit that they get is obviously the Martial Kata. So what this does, and I think this has all been told by the community, so but we'll go over it briefly anyway. So basically, after both sides have deployed, but before you've determined who will have the first turn, you must select a primary, secondary, and tertiary martial kata for the list from the list opposite for your army to use in the battle. Note this down secretly on your army roster. In each of your command phases, so long as one is available, you must select one kata stance to become active for your army. Each time you do so, units from that army with the ability benefit from it until the start of the next command phase. When selecting a kata stance to become active, the following rules apply. You can't select a kata stance more than once. You must select a primary kata stance first, and you can't select a tertiary kata stance until you have selected a secondary kata stance. So no skipping from your first to last and so on. Once you select a stance of a different martial kata, you can't select a stance of a previous martial kata. So you can't go, so each one's got 2. Once you go on to if you choose second turn to go on to your second kata, you can't take your second one within the first, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I think everyone's gone through it in the community. It's very confusedly worded by Games Workshop. I think they've made it overly confusing.
Yes.
They could have just said 1, 2, 3. These the doctrine. You can select 1 or 2, but as soon as you go on to the second, you can't go back to the first one.
Yes. Exactly. So anyway, so what we've got and what so in a minute we're going to move on to the individual shield hosts, but before we do that, there are some generic kata fighting stances that every Custodes can choose from, and obviously so you're selecting these on top of your shield host one as well. You're deciding which ones you're going to go with, because you might decide, I'm guessing that you're probably, because it's quite a powerful dynamic, you're probably going to want to have your shield host one, because I'm guessing that's going to impact on why you choose that shield host. Maybe not, but anyway, that's all part of your decision making. So what we've got here is we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stances. So we'll start off with, and I will pronounce these all wrong. So I think this is Callistus. And what this one does, so the stance one. Say again, sorry.
I think that's the one they've already previewed on Warhammer Community.
Perfect. So this one is each time a unit advances, roll 1 additional d6 and discard one of the results. That's the first stance.
Oh, so you could, that's good. That's good. That's really good. So it means you get that straight up. I like that.
And then the second stance is each time a unit makes a normal move or an advance in your movement phase, in your following shooting phase, it counts as having remained stationary.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's good. So you can advance, and then you can still shoot anything as if you were standing stationary. So it's not bad, right?
No, that's pretty good. That's good for this fella.
Yes, it is.
I only shoot when you remain stationary. So shoot twice like that.
Yeah. So then we've got Conservari, and this is stance 1. This unit can perform an action in a turn in which it advanced or fell back. Not bad.
That's not bad.
Not bad. I mean,
I don't like actions.
When you've got so few models.
Yeah, it feels a waste. But that's good. I mean, that means you can still do stuff. I mean, you fall back, do an action, you can still do it. So that's options for secondary.
Yeah. And then stance 2, while this unit is performing an action, it can shoot without that action failing. That's good.
That's really good because you could put your shooting custodians at the back, perform the action on the point, and still shoot. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. And then we have, it looks like Jakari, but it's not. It's Daktari, I think. So stance 1, each time an enemy unit piles in or consolidates, if it starts the move within engagement range of the unit, subtract 2 from the distance models in that enemy unit can move for the pile in or consolidate move.
Yeah, so this is one that has been on community. That's huge, especially against Swarm. Anything Swarm, and you're just going, you can't hit me.
Yeah, I like that. And then stance 2, then we've probably seen as well, which is each time the unit fights, it can use this ability. If it does so, then the unit that fight, when the fight is resolved, add 1 to the attack characteristics of the models in the unit and change the damage characteristics of the melee weapons they are equipped with to 1 with to 1. So that's huge.
Yeah, that's
right?
good. That's huge. I mean, if you've got a load of flat 2 damage weapons and you're against, I don't know, Swarm, then you can just smash out a load of hits. Or Death Guard, because flat 2 damage weapons, which we know that we're getting now, they're just useless against Death Guard. So at least now we've got an option to still do that little bit more damage.
Yeah. So then we've got Selvus. So Selvus stance 1 is add 4 inch the range characteristics of your ranged weapons with models in the unit they're equipped with.
Okay, it's not bad.
It's okay. Yeah. And then stance 2, if this unit is infantry, does not advance in your movement turn in the following shooting phase. If it is not within engagement range of an enemy model in the unit, can shoot twice with its Uric weapons. I don't know what Uric weapons are, but we'll find out.
We'll have to find out. I'm guessing probably axes and spears, maybe swords, because that's
my
really
guess is. Yeah.
I'm guessing probably just not Forge World stuff.
Yes.
But I could be wrong because obviously they're not in the codex.
Yeah, I mean, they might change their keywords like with an FAQ or something, but my guess is, yeah. And the fact that it's infantry, I'm guessing it's probably all the infantry weapons, more or less.
So probably your bikers with their guns, they won't obviously get it.
Yes.
It sounds like it.
Still could be quite good. It could be a lot of shots that could be, couldn't it?
That could potentially be quite good. It would be better if it included the Forge World shooting fight.
I bet.
If we could get that on our Velatari, hello, here we go. That was party.
Yes, I bet. And then we have Rendax. So Rendax, each time a model in this unit makes an attack against a vehicle or monster, an unmodified roll of 6 automatically wounds the target.
Okay, it's good, but I mean, we are seeing more monsters now with the little Terminators come out. That's good.
It's situational, but I suppose the thing to bear in mind is obviously you're choosing this after you know what you're playing, because you can pick this if you're against a monster heavy or a vehicle heavy army.
Yeah, which is huge because that way you are flexible and you can say, right, I'm taking this one because I'm going against God. Never on the table at the moment.
but in the future, who knows, right?
We're ready for it.
We're ready for it. And then stance 2, each time a model in this unit makes a melee attack against a vehicle or a monster unit, if the model's unit makes a charge move, was charged or performed the heroic intervention that turn, add 1 to the strength characteristics of that attack.
Okay, so at the moment with that, it's very much saying that spears are better. Because the spears are strength 7 at the moment with all the new things. So I go to strength 8. That's tasty. Yeah. And then auto wounds on 6. All right. Oh no, you won't get the auto wound in time because it's different.
No, because it's a different stance. But you would potentially choose that one, and then you still got quite a lot of you got some good stuff there, right?
Two turns to potentially kill a load of vehicles and monsters.
Yep, yeah. Well, if you're going against, again, it's kind of the same time you're going to be choosing your secondaries. You obviously get an opportunity to choose these, and you're kind of like you're stacking the cards in your favor if you're against that type of matchup, which is a good thing to have, I think. So it's not bad. And then we've got Captaris. So this is each time a melee attack is made against this unit, the hit roll can't be re-rolled. So that's going to be strong, right?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so just the hit roll.
Just the hit roll. Yeah, so that's stance 1. Stance 2 is each time an enemy unit, excluding vehicle and monster units, that is within engagement range of any infantry unit from your army with this ability, is selected to fall back, roll off with your opponent, adding 1 to your opponent's roll if their unit has fly. If you win, the enemy unit can't fall back that turn.
Oh, no one's running from us.
It's quite cheeky.
Yeah, I prefer the first bit, if I'm honest, especially with Death Guard rerolls at the moment with all the Volkites, even Space Marines with Volkites. So I'm just going, you can't reroll those. And hopefully we still got a little banner that maybe -1. We'll be like, yeah. Yes, it's some tough Custodes.
Yeah. So you've got some stuff in there that's quite good for kind of a bit of defensive and a bit of speed. You've got some stuff that's good for melee, and then some stuff to make your infantry a little bit better shooting. So you've got, I don't think, I'd listen, it'd be interested to hear your thoughts, but I don't see anything in there that screams out broken or super crazy powerful, but it all seems nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a buff. It's a small buff that makes you, and you have to think about it as well. It's not like if there's no clear winner there that says if you don't take this, then you're going to lose. There's a lot of options, and that's what we need. There's flexibility, and so far it sounds like they've done quite well with this codex at the moment, because it's not like the Admech that I also play. That have clearly just got super buffs. It seems so far it's a nice little sprinkle on the cake.
Yeah. So we'll dive in and now speak about the actual the host himself. So what you've got is, if you can't choose one, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to choose one, you go down as being the Emperor's Chosen, which is kind of the standard vanilla kind of shield host. So what you get from say again, sorry?
So you become a chosen shield host if you, let's say that you're unaligned. So if you take Space Marines.
No, so if you can't decide on which one you want, so if you haven't decided, I suppose in theory, like if you were going to, I don't know, I don't know why you would choose it, but basically what it says is, it says if you don't choose one, this is the one that you have. Basically, this is the generic, this is the kind of vanilla. But so we start off with this, and for each of these shield hosts, what we get is we get a stance, we get a stratagem, we get a warlord trait, and we get a relic. So pretty standard stuff, but quite nice having that stance in there to use. And obviously you can then choose that stance instead of one of the others. So you can choose that as your stance. So the Emperor's Chosen. So its stance is each time a unit with this trait is selected to shoot or fight, you can re-roll 1 hit roll or 1 wound roll when resolving that unit's attack.
Oh, that's good. So this is trait 1 of 2.
Trait 1 of 2.
Okay, that's good. That's really good, especially for something with salvo launchers on your bikes.
Yeah, when they hit on 2s as well, it's going to make them super crazy, right?
Yeah, but you always miss one. Let's face it, you always miss one.
Yeah, all that wound you get, you get them all through, and then you need that juicy wound. So that's quite good, right?
You run up with your captain. So you run up with your captain, and you've got three bikes with him. All 3 reroll your ones anyway on your hit, and then your wound roll. You go, oh, I missed one. Reroll one of those for free, and then you can reroll another one for command point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. Like that.
Absolutely right. Okay, and then we've got the second trait for them is You can go with each time a model in this unit with the trait would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound, roll 1d6, and on a 4+, the wound is not lost.
Oh,
That's pretty strong against your Psycho heavy armies, right?
oh, that's as goodbye Grey Knights.
Yeah, 4+ ignore. It's nice, right?
I mean, I play AdMech, and the AdMech have the same rule on vehicles, and that has saved me on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
But that is an army-wide rule.
Yeah.
Thousand Suns, Grey Knights, brilliant.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, pretty nice. And then we have Esteemed Algoram, I think is their stratagem. So use this stratagem in your command phase. Select one Emperor's Chosen unit from your army. Select one other shield host fighting style from the page that we spoke about earlier. Until the start of your next command phase, the models in that unit have that trait instead of the one you're in.
Okay, so that's one unit.
Yes, it's one unit. So basically, choose one unit to change its stance to a different stance.
That could be good because I mean, if you haven't taken, say, the shoot twice, and you've got guys at the back, and you just play that stratagem, play that every turn. If I have to shoot twice, that's I like that.
It's not too bad, right? Not too bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so slight amendments there. So it has to be one of those traits that you've chosen from. So it's just replace the ones we just spoke about. So it's not if they were in one of the others, it's if they were in their one, they could choose one of the generic ones for that unit instead of their one.
Right, okay, so that means that anyone, so yeah, that's fine. Still good, and if you've taken the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But then that's when it comes to all part of your planning, isn't it? Your list building around how you're going to kind of work it. And then you've got your Warlord trait. So each time this Warlord fights after resolving all attacks, it can make a number of additional attacks equal to the number of enemy models destroyed as a result of the attacks during that fight, to a maximum of 4 additional attacks.
Okay, prefer if it didn't have 4 additional attacks.
Yeah.
But that could have been huge. I mean, especially like I'm just strapped to my head. Blade Captain, bringing him out, killing a swarm. He's already got 12 attacks. Rolling that out, that potentially would be another 4. So you're looking at 16 attacks just off one bloke, almost guaranteed going through. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and then we've got the Paragon Spear is the relic, and that spear basically goes to shooting, 24-inch rapid fire, strength 5 -1/2 damage, and in melee it is +3 strength, -5 AP, 2 damage. It's okay. Sounds quite nice. Nice little spear.
Any other special rules on it, or
no? That's all it is. That's the only rules on it. So yeah, not bad.
It depends if we still got to throw up in on saber, we'll take that.
Right, okay, so then we've got Shadow Keepers.
Okay.
And Shadow Keepers, their traits are, well, an enemy unit is within engagement range of this unit. With this trait, subtract 1 from the attacks characteristic of each model in the enemy unit.
Hang on, what? Say that again.
While an enemy unit is within engagement range of a unit with this trait, subtract 1 from the attacks characteristics of each model in the enemy unit.
And that's all it says?
That's all it says. No minimum.
So if you charge me with 1 attack unit...
It doesn't say minimum. It will get FAQ'd, I'm sure. I think you might have already found the first loophole.
That is huge. But I need to double check the rulebook, because the rulebook might say that you can never go below 1 attack. That's possible. So I will double check that.
It definitely doesn't say to a minimum of 1 currently on that trait. It definitely doesn't.
And does it accumulate as well? So let's say I've got these two separate units standing next to the same unit. That could be -2.
Well, All it says is exactly that. It says, while an enemy unit is within engagement range of a unit with this trait, subtract 1 from the attack's characteristic of each model in the enemy unit. Nothing more. That's what it says.
Okay, they need to clarify that, because at the moment that sounds like I have 3 characters and a unit that's -4 attacks, no minimum. Yourself.
Yeah. So for one turn, no one can actually attack you.
And that's just the tier 1. That's just one. Oh, that's huge. Oh, and by the way, you can mix that with martial arts skills, so you can't run away with the martial arts.
No, you wouldn't be able to, because this would replace that. This would be that ability for that turn.
No, because these are your shield hosts. So
that's right. Yeah.
Moves are different to these things. You're going, I'm going to hit you. You can't run away. I'm going to hit you again next turn. Oh, that's nice. They need to come out with an FAQ.
They do. But I think if we took it as the absolute minimum, and it was just, I still think it's great. I think that's really strong, to -1 attack off every model in that unit. You know, quite a lot of things with like 2 or 3 attacks. Already it's quite hard to kill Custodes anyway. And then you reduce the attacks down, and suddenly, you know, you're actually really bouncing off these guys. So I think even in its real simplest, with if it really got neutered down to what probably makes sense, let's be honest, it's still really strong, right? Really strong.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, especially like as we've said, we're seeing a lot more dreadnoughts, monsters, and things coming onto the table, which are less attacks. You know, you're looking at sort of like order of pyramids. They get like what 4 or 5 attacks, maybe sometimes 6.
Yeah.
So you might be 1 or 2 away from that. It's like, that's
pretty strong. So then we've got trait 2. Each time a model in this unit with this trait makes an attack against a character unit, you can re-roll the wound roll.
Okay, that's good. Not as good as the first one.
No, but still good, right? Then we've got Grim Responsibility as the stratagem, which is 1 CP. Use a stratagem in any phase when a Shadowkeeper's unit from your army, excluding vehicles unit, is selected as a target for an attack. Until the end of the phase, each time an attack is made against that unit, subtract 1 from the strength characteristics of that attack.
Oh, that's nice. Oh,
good, right?
So, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that. So the toughness 6 spikes and things. If something's hitting you at strength 7, there's quite a lot of strength 7. All of a sudden, boom, you know, as much. That's I like that a lot.
And then we've got then Warlord Trait is Lock Warden, which is each time an attack is made by this Warlord, allocated to a character, an invulnerable saving throw can't be made against this attack. So basically, ignore invulnerable saves for that character.
Already playing a few different things at the moment that ignore invuln saves. That's big. And straight away, I'm thinking Captain on Bike. Running him down and going, I'm going to kill all your characters. My character that's going to make you attacking me as well.
And no doubt there'll be, you know, good relics and stuff like that coming up that can do more damage and all sorts of good stuff. So that sounds really strong. And then the relic is for Shadowkeeper's model only. Obviously, at the start of the fight phase, select 1 enemy unit within engagement range of the bearer. That unit is not eligible to fight this phase until after all eligible units from the unit have done so. So fight last.
Yeah, that's good. Really good, especially if that's really good. I like that.
So Shadowkeepers sounding pretty tasty.
So far, yes. I think most people are expecting Shadowkeepers. I'll be honest, it's always been a Shadowkeeper and Dread host for me.
So they were good before, and they're good again.
They're good again. They're better. They are.
So then we've got the Dead host is next. And the Dead host, their trait is, their 2 traits are, so the first one is each time a model in this unit with this trait makes an attack that targets an enemy unit within 9 inches of it, the armor penetration characteristics of the attack is improved by 1.
Oh, no, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Is that really good?
So it just says within 9 inches, so that's melee weapons and range weapons.
Yeah, so basically, what did it say? So each time a model in a unit with this trait makes an attack that targets an enemy within 9 inches. So it's an attack. It doesn't say melee or shooting.
So that's both. So your Hurricane Bolters on your bikes within 9 inches of some 1 AP, that's a lot of shots. That's good. Melee weapons as well. I mean, things like, again, go straight because it's a new model, Blade Captain, when you're doing these loads of attacks, he's only got one AP, so that goes to 2. But your axes, that the spears are better at the moment, that makes the axes better because they're high strength and the same AP. I think the spears even better, but let's face it, there's a lot of it. So you don't really need more than -3 AP because otherwise it's normally wasted. So that's interesting.
And then we've got trait 2. You can re-roll charge rolls made with this unit with this trait.
Oh god, it's even better. Oh, that's a toss up between the two. That one. Re-rolling charges. Yeah, obviously that's huge.
It's good, right? It's good.
I don't need to explain
how good that is. Yeah. So then we've got their stratagem, which is 2 CP, and it's uses stratagem in the movement phase when a dead host unit, dread host. Get my words out. I'm going to say dread host unit from your army is set up on the battlefield, using the Golden Light ability until the start of the next turn. Each time an attack is made against that unit, subtract 1 from the hit rolls, and each time that unit declares a charge, enemy units that were targeted by the charge can't fire Overwatch or set to defend against that charge.
Vital.
That's pretty good, right?
So even if you fail your charge, you're -1 to hit. So that's protecting. That's a defensive as well as an offensive ability.
And you could be re-rolling that charge because you've taken the trait 2.
Yeah, you're dropping in, you're re-rolling your charge. Even if you fail, it doesn't matter because you're -1. If you get into combat, it doesn't matter. Even if you're hitting something that's really heavy, because you know what, you're -1 to hit me.
Yeah.
We're in it.
That's good, right? That's really good.
Really, is that 1 CP or is it 2 CP?
2 CP for that one. 2 CP.
Okay, that's that. Yeah, that's. I'm liking this.
So then we've got the Warlord trait. So in your command phase, select a Warlord or one friendly Dread host core unit within 6 inches of Warlord until the start of your next command phase. Each time a model in that unit makes an attack, an unmodified hit roll of 6 scores 1 additional hit.
Okay, is that just melee? Did it say?
Set 1. Each time model makes an attack.
Okay, so that is good. That's the replacement for the old one. So before we used to have a 6-inch bubble. Everyone within 6 inches used to get exploding 6s in the combat. So toss up between the two, which one is better? It depends if you run a captain with a lot of guys next to him or whether you're going to run solo. But potentially, again, I'm Blade Captain. It's on my head. Blade Captain with his with now -2 AP, running exploding 6s, he could get endless amounts of 6s. He's a bit of a beast. Venatari do sound better now. They already get exploding 6s. You can't double explode, can you?
No, you can never double explode. I don't think. And you might be able to. I don't know. Something to ponder on. Then we've got the Relic. So the Relic this time is an axe rather than a spear, and so this basically goes to rapid fire 1, 24 inches, strength 5, -1, 2 damage, and in melee it goes to +3, -3, flat 3 damage.
Oh, that's a nice piece because our axe at the moment being flat 2, having a flat 3 option is pretty good. That's a juicy Relic. Depending what else you get, it's an option, especially for your Terminator captain.
And then we have the Aquilan Shield. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Aquilan? Sounds right.
Pronounce it right.
We'll go with it. So trait 1 for these guys. Core units with this trait are eligible to perform heroic interventions as if they were a character.
Okay, that's good. does come up. It's all right. It's not huge.
I don't think it's super powerful, is it? It doesn't scream off the page, but it's still good, right?
No, it is good. It is good. I mean, there's always options. If someone's silly enough to get within 3 inches of you in their turn, you go, I'm going to heroically intervene. You weren't expecting that.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
And then their trait 2 is each time an attack with an armor penetration characteristic of -1 is allocated to a model in this unit. With this trait, the attack armor penetration characteristic is 0 instead. So
okay.
-1 goes. So ignore -1 AP.
Yeah, that's good. It would be better if it was just take -1 AP rather than ignoring ones.
Yeah, that's all right though.
It's all right. There's better ones.
There's better ones. Yeah, absolutely. So then they have the Shield of Honor as their stratagem. Use this in your opponent's shooting phase when an enemy unit is selected to shoot with. Select one Imperium infantry character unit from your army until the end of the phase, while that unit from your army is within 6 inches of friendly Aquilan Shield core unit. Enemy units can't target the character, basically. So it's you kind of can't target.
So that's a bodyguard rule.
Yes. You can do it for anyone. Yeah, any Imperium character.
So they did FAQ this in the last one because it's kind of exactly the same as what it used to be.
Right.
And you could do that to a knight. So you can literally just put your knight character up in front and go, now you can't shoot him and I'm going to hide my people behind a wall.
Yeah, it does literally only say Imperium. Oh, no, there we go. Imperium infantry character.
They fixed it. I'm hoping they fix this for all bodyguard rules overall for everyone.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be able to protect the character. It's a vehicle.
Yeah. So then the Warlord trait is each time attack is allocated against the Warlord, half the damage characteristics of that attack rounding up.
Okay, that's good. We've seen that in Thousand Suns. Always beneficial on Dean Prince and Thousand Suns. So yeah, it's good. Yeah.
And then their relic is a shield. So a model equipped with the shield only. Each time an attack is made against the bearer, subtract 1 from the attack's wound roll. So -1 to wound with a shield.
Yeah, it's good. Shield's good. Yeah.
Not bad. So then we have the Solar Watch. Yeah. So we have Solar Watch then. So Solar Watch are add 1 to the advance and charge rolls made for this unit with this trait. If a unit with this trait has the implacable Vanguard ability, don't know what that is. I guess that's probably your bikes. Add 7 to the move characteristics of that model in the unit instead of 6. So I think that's we don't roll to advance. We auto advance 6 normally with those, and it goes to 7. I'm pretty sure. Looking at the bikes earlier. Well, you have a quick look. I will go on to the rules anyway. And then trait 2 is that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the bikes.
Yeah, thought so. So they basically go 7 instead of 6, which is quite nice. And then the trait 2 is units with this trait are eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which they fell back. That's good.
Okay, that's good. That's all right.
It's all right. And then we've got Eagle Strike, which is the stratagem. Each time use the stratagem in any phase when your enemy warlord is destroyed by a Solar Watch unit from your army until the end of the battle. Each time combat attrition test is taken from an enemy unit, subtract 1 from the combat attrition test. I mean, anytime I hear the words combat attrition, my face always goes, next one. But it's all right. Again, it's not terrible.
The thing is, I think failing leadership is a hidden gem that no one has really tapped into. It's all right unless you really buff a whole load into it. You're not going to get anything else out of it.
And then we've got the Warlord trait is Sally Forth. At the start of your charge phase, select 1 friendly Solar Watch infantry unit within 6 inches of your Warlord. Until the end of the phase, that unit is eligible to charge in a turn in which it advanced. So advance and charge.
That's good. That is really good.
It's infantry though, so no bikes.
Yeah, yeah.
That kind of makes it a bit not as good. If it was bikes, it makes it stronger. And then we've got the Swift Silver Talon, which is the and this is Solar Witch model equipped with a Guardian Spear only. And this is Rapid Fire 1, Strength 4, -2, 2 damage. And then melee is +2, -4, 2 damage. Seems a bit naff.
It's just it's one extra. It's
yeah.
1 AP more.
Moving swiftly on. Oh my god. Emissaries Imperatus.
I've got no idea. To be honest, I normally stick to Dreadnought. Let me see if they're in the old one. Oh yeah, the last one. Yeah.
There we go. So they're fighting. So their trait is at the start of the fight phase. If a unit with this trait is within engagement range of an enemy unit, it can fight first that phase. That's okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty strong. Fight first. Yeah, I like that. And then each time a model in this unit with this trait makes an attack, you can ignore any and all modifiers to hit roll and to wound roll.
Oh no, that's good. I mean, if there's a lot of people that are not -1, so I know Balakos and Phil -1 to hit, 1 to wound. Ignore it. Dense cover. Ignore it.
Yeah. He's probably strong actually. He's probably strong actually, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's a lot of on the field. I think that's pretty good, and that means that's all modifiers, yeah. So that means
all modifiers. It says all modifiers to hit and wound.
Okay, yeah. So if I advance with my assault weapons, I could fire at full ballistic skill. Doesn't matter. So I'm still hitting on 2. I advance. So there's a lot of play with that. I would say a lot more in the shooting side of things. If you're going to go for a shooting custody group.
Yeah, this sounds very good. And then we've got Into the Darkness. Which is their stratagem, which is 2 or 3 CP. Use a stratagem at the start of the first battle round. Before the first turn begins, select 1 core unit from your army. That unit can make a normal move as if it was your movement phase, but it must end the move more than 9 inches away from any models. If both players have their yada 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 roll off for it. And then it says the player who takes first turn moves their unit first. If the unit contains 4 or more models, the stratagem costs 3 CP. Otherwise, it costs 2 CP. So,
just infantry.
Yes, just infantry. Pre-game move for infantry. So it could be good for your jetpack, good dudes, right?
It could be good for the jetpacks. Don't really need it because it's got a lot of speed anyway. I would say more Terminators if you've got Terminators straight on the field rather than putting them into the sky. As long as everyone's forward deployed. Like the face-to-space marine, whatever, forward deployed, that's pretty good. I'd say, yeah. So you're moving 6 inches, so then you move your normal 6 inches, so you've got a 12-inch move on Terminators if you've got one on the front line. I like that. I do like that. That's got play.
Yeah. So then we've got the Warlord Trait of the Voice of the Emperor, which is add 3 inches to the range of the Warlord's aura abilities to a maximum of 12. If this has already been added to the Voice of the Emperor aura ability below. This Warlord has the following abilities. Voice of the Emperor aura, while friendly Custodes and Sisters units are within 9 inches of this model, add 1 to the leadership characteristics of that unit. So basically get extension to the aura and get +1 leadership.
Okay, I like the extension to the aura, so you get better rerolls. That's
exactly.
But +1 to 11 leadership.
Yeah, not great. And then we've got Halo of the Torchbearer as the relic. So the bearer has the following ability: Halo of the Torchbearer aura, while friendly of this shield host unit, so not just core, is within 3 inches of the model. It can ignore any or all modifiers to its move characteristics and advance rolls and charge rolls. And then at the start of the fight phase, roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within 3 inches of this model. On a roll of 3+, the enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound or D3 mortal wounds if the unit's leadership characteristic is 7 or less.
Okay, not a bad relic. I'm
It's a bit
trying
wordy.
to think of. Yeah, there's a lot of modifier. I'm guessing if you're charging, there's like Gravis tanks and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's okay. I like the mortal wound thing, especially if you're going to charge someone. What's Tao's leadership? They leadership 7.
They're not normally high leadership, that's for sure. Probably
Yeah,
is
so
about 7.
Online, Tau online, run into that and go. Everyone around me is now suffering mortal wounds. Could be quite nice.
Yeah, I think it is situational. It doesn't scream off the page like crazy powerful, but it's not too bad, right?
Feels to me that you're making a bit of a kamikaze character.
Yeah, yeah, it does. So that's all the shield hosts. What's your favourite? First impressions?
There's a toss up. It's
Still.
Yeah, Dread Host or the Shadow Keepers. It's one of those two. I'm torn a little bit to the Dread Host, if I'm honest, just because I've always played Dread Host. But you're in invuln stage and a punish attack. How can you ignore that? Until they come out with an FAQ, I probably won't play it, especially in tournaments and things, just because it
seems a bit. Yeah. Well, we'll see what Grant's plays against Darren on the weekend. We'll see. Wait and see. Watch this space. So then we've got the Captain Commander abilities. So basically, these are abilities so that you give to your shield captain. So let's just read the wording for this. So if your army is battle forged and includes Custodes detachment, excluding auxiliary support, heavy auxiliary fortification detachments, then when you muster your army, you can upgrade a shield captain model, excluding named characters from your army, to a captain commander. If you are playing a combat patrol or incursion battle, you can upgrade 1 such model. If you are playing a strike force or onslaught battle, you can upgrade 2 such models. Each time you upgrade a shield captain model to a captain commander, select one of the appropriate captain commander abilities below for that model to gain. Its power rating is increased by 1. If you are playing a match play game or the game is using points limits, then points value for the model will increase, as shown in the table below. Yada yada yada. Shield captain model using these rules, including specifying abilities it is gained. Each shield captain model from your army can only be upgraded once and can't select a captain commander ability for a shield captain model if another shield captain model has already got it.
Okay,
makes sense.
So instead of paying CP for our captain commanders now, we are now getting that as points upgrade, which is good. We've seen that in obviously many other armies that get it as well.
Yeah. So they vary quite differently in prices. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different abilities. And they range from 25 points at the most, which is the Master of Stances, down to the lowest, which is 10 points, which is Unstoppable Destroyer. And they vary from 10 to 15 to 20 to 25.
Okay. So changed Unstoppable because that's the strongest one at the moment.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So Guardian Shield Captain model only. So Master of Stances. So that's what. So they'll only can go for certain units. So what? Yeah. So basically, so Guardian Shield Captain model only. You can have Master of Stances in your command phase. Select one Adeptus Custodes core unit or character within 6 inches of this model until the start of your next command phase. That unit benefits from both stances of your current kata. The model can only use this ability if every unit from your army has the Custodes keyword, excluding sisters and agents of Imperium and unaligned.
Okay, so that's really good. So you can take. So that's just one unit, is it?
Yep. So one person can have that Master of Stance, and then it affects. Select one core or character unit.
That's good. So you could potentially, yeah, there's a lot of play for that for like, the monster destroyer if you really wanted to kill monsters. Roll at the monster one. Yeah, that's got some play. And
Very good.
That's just your basic custody.
So
guard
so only a guardian can take that one, and a guardian can also take. So then the guardian has swift as an eagle. So this model is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. So it can take that one as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
That's right. And then it can take inspirational and exemplar, which is add 3 inches to the range of this model's inspirational fighter ability to a maximum of 12.
Okay, so that's increasing aura. So that's exactly the same as like in this old book.
Yeah,
we have to pay for it. So literally exact same. That's pretty good if you really want to have a buffing character just to run up and boost.
Yeah. So then we've got the Terminators, which is the Alaris Shield Captain only model. So they've got Unstoppable Destroyer, and this is each time a model makes a pile-in or a consolidation move, add 1 to it. And then each time a model makes a pile-in or heroic intervention move, it can move in any direction and can do so even if it's already touching an enemy model, so long as it finishes the move within engagement range of an enemy unit.
Oh, they changed it massively. So did you know the old one?
No.
So the old one admittedly is a little bit broken. So the old one used to be able to go in any direction. To consolidate in any direction, a D3 plus 3. So you charge, you would do your attack, and then you would fall back out of combat, so no one could hit you back. It is broken. So I'm glad they have fixed it, but I'm a little bit disappointed at the same time. And obviously you take it on your bike guy, not on a Terminator. So I can see why you've said that's 10 points now. It's still got play because you potentially move him, hit a character, but then move out of the range of the character and end up into a swarm or something, or vice versa, or tie in a tank. I don't know. There is options, but it's not as good.
And then the next one, this one again, same, just for the Terminators. Each time this model makes a melee attack against a monster, vehicle, or character unit, add 1 to the wound roll. Pretty much as it is what it is.
Stack because you're going to get +1. So if you're with the fighting style, you can't get plus.
Yeah. And then we have Defiance at the last. If this model has less than its starting number of wounds, but more than half, add 1 to the attack's characteristic. If this model has half or less than half of its starting number of wounds, add 2 to its attack's characteristics.
Okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
An extra.
Yeah.
You got to get an attack.
Say again, sorry?
You got to take a wound to get one
exactly.
attack.
Yeah.
And half you would.
I'm not seeing it, but there we go. And then we have the jetpack, the jet bike dudes. So we have each time a model is selected to fight after pile-in, if it is within 2 inches of 6 or more enemy models, then that unit can let me read this again. Each time a model is selected to fight after it piles in, if it is within 2 inches of 6 or more enemy models, then until the fight is resolved, add 2 to the attack's characteristics of this model.
It's a swarm killer, theoretically.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's all right. Yeah, I think it's quite good. I quite like that one. And then you have the Ceaseless Hunter. This model is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back.
Okay, interesting. You can fall back and
fall back and charge. It's all right. It's quite good. It gives you a bit of flexibility. And then you've got Tip of the Spear, which is each time a model makes an attack, if it makes a charge move or performs a heroic intervention this turn, you can reroll hit rolls and wound rolls of 1.
There you go. That's the one you can take. That hands down. Just rerolling your ones for your character. Done.
Yeah, hit and wound. Job done. We can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
So
you go. Come on,
yeah,
we can go.
absolutely, absolutely.
Points is that?
Say again, sorry.
How many points is that one?
That one is tip of the spear. It's 15 points.
15 points. There you go. 15 points. That's the one we all want. That's
Yeah.
that's it. And possibly if you're taking a Guardian character, you'd probably take the extra karate moves.
Yes.
Yeah, tip of the spear. We're gonna go with that. Tip of the spear. That was the one that's yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go over the Warlord traits, and then after I've gone over them all, then if there's anything that stands out, then let us know what ones you like. So we've got the Master of Martial Strategy. Whilst Warlord's on the battlefield, each time you spend a command point with the stratagem, roll d6 on a 5+, it's refunded. Once per battle in the command phase, if unit your army is using the Martial Qatar ability, before selecting a stance for your army, you can change the order of your Martial Qatar, primary, secondary, or tertiary. That's really good.
That's really
That's
good.
strong, right? That's really strong.
That's a tasty. Ooh,
Yeah,
yes.
I think that jumps off the page as super strong. Then we've got Champion of the Imperium. This warlord is eligible to perform a heroic intervention if it is within 6 inches horizontally and 5 inches vertically of an enemy unit. Each time this warlord makes a heroic intervention move, it can move up to 6 inches instead of 3. All other rules for heroic intervention apply. Each time the warlord makes an attack, it can re-roll the hit rolls. So bigger heroic intervention and also reroll hit rolls.
Yeah, that's powerful.
That's good as well.
That is, that's surprising because 6 inches is a lot further than you think on the field, especially with heroic intervention. People go, "Ha I'm too far." You go, "Ha
Yeah, I think that's really good.
With that, I'm thinking probably Blade Captain, run him up the field. He's got his own rerolls. He's carving up everyone with all those extra attacks. Boom.
Yeah. And then we've got Superior Creation. Each time the Warlord would lose a wound, roll 1d6 on a 5+ the wound is not lost. So 5+ feel no pain.
Same as before. Powerful. Always take it on your bike captain. That's auto take.
Yeah. Then we've got a Psycho one here. In your opponent's psychic phase, the Warlord can attempt to deny the witch once, as if it was a Psycho. Each time it denies the witch, test is taken, the Warlord can add 1 to the result. The Warlord counts as 2 additional models when determining controlling of an objective marker. This is cumulative with any other rules that make it count as additional models.
Right, okay, so he's already classed as 2 models.
Yep.
Because of...
Yeah.
So this counts another 2, so he's technically 4 models on objective.
Yeah.
Beast Boy. I like the psychic because I think we already had the psychic one. I don't think many people take it.
Yeah.
But get that extra little tweak on top. Yeah, that's
nice,
good,
isn't it? Yeah. Then we've got each time an attack is made against a warlord, subtract 1 from the hit roll, so -1 to hit the warlord, which is okay.
Radiant Mantle, I believe that one is.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got Peerless Warrior. Each time a warlord makes a melee attack, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage. Each time an attack is made by the warlord, it allocated to an enemy model. The saving throw can't be re-rolled. Can't roll and it's no maximum on that as well. So there's no maximum 4, no maximum 6.
I'm just rolling this out. Blade Captain rolling that out with his 12 attacks, possibly the extra attacks that he's getting from the exploding 6s. Then these are
It's nasty. Peerless Warrior. You're going to be taking Peerless Warrior.
Peerless Warrior is in. It is in. As long as we can take 2 Warlord traits, I'm torn.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah, 5 up, feel no pain, and that. But then okay, yeah, I've got things going.
yeah. So then there are Warlord traits for the sisters. So we'll briefly go through these. So which is interesting because you can't have them as your Warlord, but there we go. So I don't really know exactly how that works. Maybe we've missed something. Anyway, this Warlord has the following ability. So add 1 to the advance and charge rolls of sisters infantry units that are within 6 inches of the model. And when the Warlord makes an attack, re-roll wound rolls of 1. That's what it is. Silent Judge. While an enemy is within 3 inches of this Warlord, each time a combat attrition test is taken, an enemy unit subtract 1 from the combat attrition test. Enemy units lose objective secure ability within 3 inches. That's quite good.
That's quite good. That's not bad.
So you can take her in as an additional Warlord sort of person, and then have her in there to shut down objective secure. Could have some play there. And then the last one is while friendly sisters infantry units within 6 inches of the Warlord, each time a model that sisters infantry unit makes an attack the target does not receive the benefit of heavy or light cover for that attack. Add 3 inches to the range characteristic of the range weapons. I don't know whether they've got anything strong enough that's going to make that particularly scary though, to make it worthwhile.
There's not really. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, if you want to run a bit of fluff, then yeah, that's good. Competitive side, only the objective secure. Even then, I would rather take Custodes.
Yeah. Right, let's whip through a few of the relics. So we've got the Eagle's Eye, which is add 1 to the wound characteristics of the bearer, so an additional wound, and then once per battle, before making a saving throw for the bearer can activate the helms, whatever it is, and if it does so until the end of the phase, the bearer gains a 3+ invulnerable save.
And that's once per turn. Once.
So that's once per game is the so you get an extra wound, and then once per game you can have a 3+ invulnerable save. So you've lost your 3+ invulnerable save from your shields.
And I'm guessing so it's good. Situational +1 wound. There's probably going to be better relics, but
I think we knew that was going to happen. We knew that was going to happen, Grant. You know you weren't going to keep that. No one else has got it.
I know, but I was hoping. Really. Darn. Okay. Disappointed with the first relic.
So the next one's biker model only, so you can reroll charge rolls made by the bearer, and if you already have reroll charge rolls, then you can add 1 to the charge roll instead. In your movement phase, when the bearer is selected to move, it can boost. If it does so until the end of the phase, double the move characteristic, and it is not eligible to shoot or declare a charge this turn.
Okay, first off, let's hit the straight thing off the bat there. We've lost our other 3 up in one save. That was the other one.
Was it?
Yeah.
There you go.
So right. So
you're not getting 3 up saves. Hold back the tears, Grant. 3 up invulnerable saves are a thing of the past.
You said reroll charge. I was like, yes, it's the same. And then you didn't give me the invuln save. Wow. Okay. First off, reroll charge. Cool. I like the fact that they put the +1 in if you're already getting your reroll charge from like your corrupting moves or whatever.
Yeah.
I like that. Absolutely gutted about losing yourself.
So then we got Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper is a spear, rapid fire 2, strength 5, -2, 2 damage, and then in melee it's +2 strength, -3, 2 damage. Each time a ranged attack is made with this weapon, that attack automatically hits the target. So auto hitting 24 inch. Yeah.
We're running one.
Yeah. And then we've got the Veil Blade. So the Veil Blade is a Sentinel Blade, and this is 12-inch, pistol 2, strength 4, -1, 2 damage, and melee it's +1 strength, -4, 2 damage. Each time the bearer fights, it makes 2 additional attacks with this weapon. So that's all right.
Okay. That's all right. Yeah, extra. So your blade, your guardian guy, you can run him up with a shield and sword and get 8 attacks.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So the next one, this model equipped with a Ballistarious grenade launcher. I don't know what that is.
Terminators.
Okay, so this relic replaces that, and it has a profile of 18 inches, assault 1, strength 10, -4, D3 +3 damage. That's quite strong, right? It's quite nasty.
That's a little diamond, that. And
Yeah.
18-inch. Compare that, mix that with the karate moves, so that way you get extra. It was karate that you get extra range. 4-inch was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
4-inch extra range. So yeah, 22-inch tank blowy up cannon on your arm, and that's not even
bad.
With your. Like it.
Not bad. Then the next one is for a Vexillus Praetor model only, so the bikes. This bearer gains the following ability. Yes. Those guys. So units within 6 inches of this model, each time the model in the unit makes an attack, that target does not receive the benefits of heavy or light cover. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it depends if the banners are the same as what they were before.
Yeah, then we've got a Terminator model only. Add 1 to the bearer's toughness characteristics, and then once per battle in the heroic intervention step of your opponent's charge phase, if the bearer is not within engagement range of the enemy unit, it can perform a teleport shunt. Remove the bearer from the battlefield and set it up anywhere within 3 inches of a friendly unit, excluding vehicle unit, and within engagement range of another enemy unit. If not possible, it can't perform the teleport shunt.
Okay, so does it have to be a friendly character?
You do know. So, well, I mean, this is a relic. Will have to be on a character.
Yeah. No, I was saying what it used to be. It was you jump across to another character. So that just said allied unit. So that's good. That means you can get your Terminator from the back of the field straight up the front, and giving it the juicy bonus of an extra 1 toughness. It's not huge. Toughness 6 good, but
not bad.
That's good. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Not bad. Then the next one is at the start of the first battle round, you can select up to 2 friendly shield host units, remove the units from the battlefield, then set them up anywhere on the battlefield that is wholly within your deployment zone. That's it basically. Yeah. So yeah.
It's like the Tyranid one as well. So
you can. Yeah, it says you can put them in reserve as well if you're playing reserve roles. So yes.
Playing recently, I'm finding very much the redeploy at the start is pretty big. I believe we already got Relic at the moment. We don't really use. But I can see some play with that. To be honest with you, especially using it myself at the moment, putting something being able to put it in reserve, that's good. So you could put your unit of bike or Terminators at the front and go, oh, actually, no, you're going to shoot me. So you're going first. I'll take them off.
Yeah, and then you've got the Velixus, the Vexillus Praetor model only. Once per battle in your command phase, if the bearer is on the battlefield, select 1 point of the battlefield and place a marker at that point. At the start of your next command phase, roll a d6 for each unit that is within 6 inches of the center of that marker, adding 1 if the unit being rolled for is within 3 inches of the center of the marker, and subtracting 1 if the unit is being rolled for as a character. On a 2 to 5, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 6+, it suffers D6 mortal wounds, and the marker is then removed.
When do you place that?
Once per battle in your command phase.
That could, if you go turn 1 and someone's castled, you could just absolutely nuke bomb their army and just wipe out loads. That's
But I'm also thinking on objective, just slap it on an objective.
You could, but I mean, it depends. It just says you can place it anywhere. I mean, if someone's castled, I'd put it straight in the castle.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put it on an objective because I just put it straight in the middle of their army.
Yeah. I think it's quite good.
Yeah, just completely nuke. It's like orbital bombardment, but better because it's not costing you 3 command points.
Yeah. We're going to gloss over Relics of the Veil because I don't think they're particularly great, and we're not going to focus too much on sisters, and time is of the essence. So we'll then look at I think one of the most important things in Codex is we'll look at their chapter approved secondary missions. They're exciting, right?
Yeah, very exciting.
And important.
They are very important because at the moment it's secondaries are hard.
Yes. So here we go. So we have this one goes in No Mercy, No Respite, and it's called the Might of Terror. Score 4 victory points at the end of the battle round if one or more enemy units were destroyed this battle round and no Custodes or Sisters units from your army were destroyed this battle round.
Oh, I like it.
It's all right, isn't it? That could work. That could work.
How many times have you tried to kill in a Custodian unit and they're still alive in one model?
Yeah.
Just laughing.
Yeah. It's not bad actually. Four victory points is pretty juicy, isn't it? Because quite a lot, particularly at the end of the game, you know, you think that last turn, you've not necessarily even, maybe you survive first turn because you're hidden, and you survive last turn because there's very little left and you're hidden. You've only really got to do like one more, and you're probably on good points then, aren't you? Because then you've scored 12.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, definitely.
So it should be a gimme 8 points minimum, shouldn't it? I'd have thought.
Yeah, easily.
This is right. Then we've got Battlefield Supremacy, which is Stand Vigil, and this is score 3 victory points at the end of the battle round if you control more objective markers that are not in either player's deployment zone than your opponent does. So control more than your opponent outside of the deployment zone.
If there's one in the middle, which happens, then it could be quite good because you just sit and say, "Come and get me, bro."
I mean, it's pretty. Yeah, as I said, if you can get onto a couple in the middle, I think with your objective secure abilities, yeah, it suits the style again, doesn't it? It suits the style quite well.
Yes, you can't take that from me. It's not going to happen.
And then we've got Purge the Enemy, which is the Uric Moralis. So this is end game objective. So if you select this objective, then before the battle, you must select one unit from your opponent's army that has the Primarch or Supreme Commander keyword to be marked for death. If no such unit exists, select one unit from your opponent's army with the highest points value to be marked for death. Aircraft units are ignored when selecting a unit to be marked. At the end of the battle, calculate how many points to a minimum of 0 you score for the objectives as followed. 5 victory points if the unit you selected to be marked for death was destroyed. So you get 5 points for killing it, full stop. 5 victory points if the unit selected marked for death was destroyed as a result of melee attacks by a Custodes or a Sisters unit from your army. 5 victory points if you do both of the above. 5 victory points if both of the above are true and the unit you selected was marked for death was destroyed more than 6 inches away from your deployment zone. And then -2 victory points for each unit from your army that the unit you selected marked for death destroyed.
It's situational, that one. I think if you've got someone like Magnus come charging at you, that he's going to be in your side of the deployment, that'd be good. But if they're just running a high value character or something,
I think the other two are better, aren't they? The other two are better.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%.
Cool. So what are we missing? So we've done Relics, we've done Warlord Traits, we've done Shield Host, we've done Catars, Stratagems we've got now, haven't we? So let's look at Stratagems. And then we can finish by looking at a few of the units. So let's look at Stratagems.
I know we're going to get hit because we've got so many good strats. We've got so many good ones, and I just know they're just going to get taken away from us because Games Workshop doesn't love us anymore. Even
Right.
even we've got the prince on our side. Come on.
Even with the prints. I did look at it though, like so we'll just find them, but I did notice that the what's it called? What's the grenade? The Tanglefoot grenade.
Oh yeah.
That's
I didn't really use it myself.
I always quite like that because that I believe is still there. Let's find it.
The main for the auto, the shooting twice for your Venatari. That was good. Pictures of blood games where you get your re-rolls. That was always quite good.
Okay. Here we go. Right. Okay. So what we've got here. So 1 or 2 CP. This one is the Arcane generic alchemy, which is use a stratagem in any phase when a Custodes unit from your army, excluding vehicle, is selected as the target for attack. Until the end of the phase, each time attack is made with an unmodified wound roll of 1 to 3, the attack fails. So they get transhuman, exactly transhuman, and obviously what it is. So it costs if it contains 3 or fewer models, it's 1 CP. If it's more, it's 2 CP.
Okay. Makes sense. It is a very, very strong stratagem. So for them to do that, I agree with that. That's good. We've got now, they've just made it more expensive.
Yeah. So then we've got sweeping advance. So use your stratagem in the fight phase when a Custodes bike unit from your army consolidates. Until the end of the phase, each time the model unit makes a consolidation move, it can move an additional 3 inches. 1 CP.
Okay. It's surprisingly, especially facing things like Space Wolves that can do that, 6 inches, it is actually pretty big. Gets up the field. Yeah.
Then we've got then we've got sidewall. So use the stratagem in the fight phase when a Custodian Guard unit from your army is selected as a target of a melee attack. And every model in the unit is equipped with a shield. Until the end of the phase, each time melee attack is made against the unit, subtract 1 from the hits rolls. So -1 to hit if you've got shields.
Okay, but you have a whole unit of shields, which is probably not going to happen. You normally take 1 shield, 2 spears, but it's not bad. Depends how good shields are there.
Yeah, and then mark for and you've got death mark. At the start of the first battle round, before the first turn begins, select 1 enemy unit. Until the end of the battle round, each time the model in a Vigilator unit, I don't know what that is. Vigilators.
That's Sisters of Silence, I believe.
Is it? Okay. Makes an attack against enemy unit, can reroll hit rolls. Yeah. Yada yada yada. Avenge the Fallen. Use a stratagem in the fight phase when a Custodes unit is selected to fight. Until the end of the phase, if a unit is below starting strength but is not below half strength, add 1 to the attack characteristics of that unit. If the unit is below half strength, add 2 to the attacks. So it's pretty good.
Good extra attack if you've lost a guy. And just going back to the last stratagem, it is the Sisters Silence with the Swords.
Brilliant. Then we've got the Slayers of Nightmares. So use a stratagem in the fight phase when a Custodes unit from your army is selected to fight. Until the end of the phase, each time the model in that unit makes an attack against a higher toughness characteristic, then it adds 1 to its own wound roll. If the Custodes unit contains 3 or fewer models, the stratagem costs 1 CP. It's 2 otherwise.
I'm liking what they're doing with this, trying to keep you in the 3s, so that way you can't do this whole maximising stratagem thing. It does make it for your army. That's quite good. We're already getting +1 against monsters, so this gives us +1 against other things that are tough if we need it.
Then we've got Talons the Emperor. Use this in any phase after shooting or fighting With an Adeptus Custodes unit from your army, select one friendly Sisters unit within 6 inches of it until the end of the phase. Each time a model in the Sisters unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. That might be good.
Okay. So it's just hitting on 2s. Okay, yeah, I can roll with that. But it depends how much. I mean, they've got a little bit of hitting on them, but
yeah. And then we've got Purgation Sweep. Use a Stratagem as shooting phase when a Witch Seeker unit from your army is selected to shoot, or in your opponent's charge phase when a Witch Seeker unit in your army is selected as Overwatch. Until the end of the phase, add 1 to the strength characteristics of the Witch Flamers. Equipped with
Strength 5 Flamers -1. That could be good. Strength 5 Flamers.
Yeah, Vigil of the Unending. Then we've got this one is used in the fight phase when a Custodes model from your army that has not already been selected to fight. This phase is destroyed. Do not remove the model. It can fight again before it is removed. So fight when you die. Yeah,
that's good.
Wisdom of the Moretti. Use your stratagem in the command phase and select one Adeptus Custodes Dreadnought model from your army until the start of the next command phase. That model gains either the Inspirational Warrior or Aggressive Precision ability as shown below. Inspirational Warrior aura, whilst a friendly shield host core units within 6 inches, reroll 1s to hit. And then the Precision one is you can reroll 1s to wound.
Okay, so that's really good. So they've got rid of Wisdom of the Ancient, given it this. That's really good. So Shield Captain and the Dreadnought together, you've basically got reroll 1s to hit and 1 to wound. Or if he's by himself, reroll 1 to wound. I like it. That's good.
Yeah. Then we've got a Machine Spirit one, which is use this in the command phase. Select one Custodes Machine Spirit, which is the Land Raider, isn't it? Until the start of the next phase, the model is considered having all its wounds, so doesn't degrade thing. 1 CP. Yeah. Moving on. Indomitable Engines. Use this stratagem in the fight phase. No, use this stratagem in any phase when a Custodes vehicle or Sister's vehicle model from your army would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound. Until the end of the phase, each time the wound is lost on a roll of 5+, the wound is not lost. So 5+, feel no pain.
Against mortal wounds. Okay.
Against mortal wounds. Yeah, it's okay. Earning the name. So this is for a character. When a character unit is destroyed as a result of a melee attack, use a stratagem when an enemy character is destroyed as a result of a melee attack made by a Custodes character, excluding named characters from your army. Select one trait of a shield host fighting style that it does not have. Until the end of the battle, the unit gains that trait in additional to the fighting styles it has gained.
So it can get a trait of a different shield host or the same shield host?
Yes, of a different shield host. So that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to be rolling out. So far at the moment, I've probably run Dread Host, and then all of a sudden you're to hit with my Shadow Keepers.
And then it says select one stance of one martial cutter. Until the end of the battle, that unit always benefits from that stance, even if the martial cutter is not active for your army. That's good, right?
That's huge. That is huge.
That's 1 CP. That's 1 CP.
So you've got to kill a character. So you have got to kill a character.
You've got to kill a character. You've got to kill a character. That's the only thing. And it says you can only use this stratagem on each Custodes character unit from your army once. You can't use a stratagem in a Crusade battle. Anyway, yeah. It's really good, right?
That's so good. That's so good.
Then we've got Open the Vaults, which we all know what this one is. This is basically get more relics. And then we've got the Emperor's Heroes, which is get more Warlord Traits.
Yeah, always in the Codex is your Relics and your Warlord Traits. Yeah.
Then we've got Victory Victory of the Blood Games, which is this is the big one, isn't it? Because this used to be an invulnerable save, isn't it?
No, Victory of the Blood Games used to be that you get to reroll one hit roll, one wound roll, and one damage roll.
Okay,
And
so use the stratagem before the battle after Warlord Trait is determined for a Adeptus Custodes character model from your army, excluding named ones. You can generate one additional Warlord Trait for them. Each Warlord Trait for your army must be unique. Yeah, you can only use the stratagem once.
Hang on. So you can generate 2 Warlord Traits on the same character.
Yes.
And you can use game.
Yeah, use this stratagem before the battle after a Warlord Trait is determined for a Custodes character model from your army, excluding name characters. You can generate one additional Warlord Trait for them. Each Warlord Trait from your army must be unique. You can only use the stratagem once.
Oh, that's big. You can roll out 2 Warlord Traits in one guy. Peerless Warrior and Feel No Pain. Oh, hell yes.
You can make a little monster.
You can make it more than a monster. You can make an absolute beast. Oh my, yes. I am loving that.
Then we've got the next one is use a stratagem before the battle, before mustering your army. Select one Adeptus Custodes Dreadnought unit from your army. Add 1 to the unit's attack characteristics. You can reroll charge rolls made for that unit. If you already can reroll charge rolls, then you can add 1 to charge rolls. You can only use this stratagem once. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So exactly the same as what it used to be before, apart from they have changed the last bit. I'm loving that you get the +1 to charge if you've already got the reroll charges.
It's nice, isn't it? It's nice.
Not getting that waste. That's good. We already have it, so it is good. Talon normally gets it, so he's probably still.
So we've got one that basically gives you the additional heroic intervention. So we'll go past that. It's just 1 CP, just for a character. Then we've got what's this next one? So use a stratagem in your command phase after selecting 1 Qatar stance. And to be active for your army, select 1 Adeptus Custodes unit from your army, then select 1 Qatar stance that is not active from your army until the start of the next command phase. The unit benefits from that stance instead of the active Qatar stance for your army. If the Adeptus Custodes unit contains 4 or fewer models, the stratagem costs 1. If not, it's 2 CP.
So you can mix. Let me just get this right. So you can have your Karate Move 1 that you've already got, and Karate Move 2 from your Guardian, and then give that 1 unit again a Karate Move 3 to potentially make.
There's going to be some nasty combos. So then we've got Indomitable Guardians. Use a stratagem in the fight phase after an enemy unit has fought. Select 1 Adeptus Custodes unit from your army that is in range of an objective marker, and it is eligible to fight that unit. Oh, hang on, let me read this again. Use a stratagem in the fight phase. After an enemy unit has fought, select 1 Custodes unit from your army that is in range of an objective marker and is eligible to fight. That unit fights next.
Okay, that's pretty good. So fight next. So basically, instead of paying to interrupt 2 CP, you're paying 1 CP to interrupt.
Yep, that's all right. Not bad. Then we've got Unleash the Lions. So this is for your Alaris ones again. I think it's the same. The army contains 2 or more models. Until the end of the battle, each model in that unit becomes its own unit. Yeah, same as last one. Shoulder the Mantle. This is the give to a different warlord, isn't it? So use a stratagem when your warlord is destroyed. Select another warlord. Yeah, same as before. It doesn't really change.
On that save, does it say he gets both the Warlord Traits if I've given him 2 Warlord Traits?
Let's read it then. So use a stratagem when your warlord is destroyed. Select another Custodes character model from your army until the end of the battle. If the model does not have a Warlord Trait, it gains the Warlord Trait of the destroyed warlord. Then until the battle end, the Custodes character model now counts as your warlord. So it says it gains the Warlord Trait. So
they need clarify it. So at the moment, as it stands, I would read that. If you've got two Warlord Traits,
Yeah,
then
you gain them both. I think so. I think that sounds, yeah. Then you've got Maneuver and Fire. So this is use a stratagem in your movement phase when a Adeptus Custodes unit from your army that can fly falls back until the end of the turn. That unit is eligible to shoot even if it fell back. That's all right. Then you've got use a stratagem in your opponent's psychic phase when an enemy psyker is within 18 inches of a sister's unit. From your that unit from your army suffers perils of the warp, suffers an additional D3 mortal wounds if it suffers perils. So it's nasty.
I mean, it's situational. Depending
It's
on the peril.
situational, but it can be quite scary. Can be quite scary.
Have what, 5 wounds?
Yeah, yeah. So then we've got the Emperor's Allspice. So use a stratagem in any phase when a Custodes unit from your army is chosen as a target for attack. Until the end of the phase, each time attack is made against an opponent, can't re-roll the hit roll or wound roll or damage roll for that attack. If the Custodes unit contains 4 or more, same old. 1 CP if it's small unit, 2 if it's big, but can't re-roll. No re-rolls, which is good.
At the moment, which is good. It is a really strong strategy.
Yep. What else have we got here? We've got Ethembric Severance. Use a stratagem in your opponent's psychic phase after a psychic test is passed for an enemy psyker, and after any deny, which is 4+ after deny.
So, okay.
So that's good. Yeah. So 18 inches of a. Hang on, let me read it. Use a stratagem in your opponent's phase, psychic phase, after a psychic test is passed for an enemy psyker unit, and after any deny which is attempted to be made, if any. If an enemy psyker unit is within 18 inches of a sister's unit from your army, roll a d6 on a 4+, the psychic power is denied. So you have to have sisters, but it is an additional 4+.
Additional after you've already failed.
Yeah, so it's really good. It's really good anti-psyker. So Creeping Dread. So this is again sisters 1, -1 to hit aura. Rapid reaction. Use a stratagem in your opponent's movement phase when an enemy unit that is within engagement range of an Adeptus Custodes unit, infantry unit from your army, when it is selected to move, finishes a fallback move, the Adeptus Custodes infantry unit can shoot at it as if it was your shooting phase, but it can only target that enemy unit.
Oh, that's Phil. You're going to run from me back, so I'm going to shoot you down as you run away.
Yeah. And there's no minus either, no minus or anything, just general normal shooting.
Ones that you go for it, you run away from me. I love it.
Nice.
And it's the extra AP, loving it.
Yeah. And then we've got Covered Advance. So use a stratagem in the opponent's shooting phase when an Adeptus Custodes Smoke Scream or Sister's Smoke Scream. Yeah, -1. Tanglefoot Grenade hasn't changed, I don't think. Use a stratagem in the start of the opponent's movement phase or charge phase. Select 1 enemy unit that's within 12 inches of visible Custodes infantry unit, and roll 1d6. If your opponent's unit from your army movement phase, subtract an equivalent number of inches from the enemy move characteristics for this phase to a minimum of 0. If your opponent, if it is your opponent's charge phase, subtract the result from the charge phase for the same.
I think that's different to the way it was before.
You can only use a stratagem once per turn, so it's not as good as it used to be.
12 inches or D6. Yeah, it's almost the same, just worded better, I think.
Yeah. So Teleport Homer is Teleport Homer. That's not changed. 3 inches standard. Psych Out Grenade for sisters. Use a stratagem shooting phase. Sisters unit is selected to shoot. If the unit is within engagement range of an enemy unit, roll a d6 on a 2+. The Psyker suffers perils. It's quite good. It's quite good. It's quite short range.
Does that mix with the other? I mean, we'll double check the wording at a later date, but that might mix with the other one where you suffer perils upon perils, which means you could potentially kill character.
Yeah. Well, so that's the end of the stratagems. So before we kind of like finish off, we're not going to go through every unit, but what units would you like me to have a look at, Grant?
Right. So we need to know Trajan Valoris. We want to know, what does that bad boy get? We need to find him out because he is, and we need to know his points.
Yeah, we could do that as well.
190 points at the moment.
Okay, let's have a look. Let's start off with Trajan. Trajan is 170 points.
Oh, so he's gone down by 20 points.
So it's 170 points. And let's find out what he does.
How many wounds has he got?
Let's have a look.
The moment it sits at 7, so I mean it's still quite a number of wounds, but I'm guessing we've seen the points an increase on most of them, so I'm guessing probably maybe 8.
He has got 8 wounds. So he's 6, obviously 2/2, strength 5, toughness 5, 8 wounds, 6 attacks.
So it's gone up in attack as well. That's good.
Leadership 11. And 2+ save, obviously. So his shooting attack is 24 inches, rapid fire 1, strength 5, -1, 2 damage. And then he's got a Misericordia, which is user -2, 1 damage. Standard. Each time the fighter makes 1 additional attack with that. And then he has his axe, his Watcher's axe, and that is ×2 strength, -3, 3 damage.
Oh, yes, because at the moment it's D3, so flat 3 damage.
Flat 3 damage.
In.
Nice.
Loving that.
He obviously gets Aegis of the Emperor, so 4+ Imbrom.
So 3.
Well, let's read on. Let's find out whether I think he's lost it. So let's have a look. So he's got Adamantium Mantle. Each time this model loses a wound, roll a d6 on a 5+. The wound isn't lost.
Feel no pain built in.
Feel no pain built in, 5+. Not just immortals, just 5+ built in.
So you have 2 characters. Two characters for I'm liking. Yes.
Yeah. So Captain General, if your army is battlefield, he must be a warlord. So and you receive 1 additional command point and gain 2 warlord traits. Oh, hang on. What's it say? You will receive 1 additional command point, and this model gains 2 warlord traits instead of 1.
Which his named character would have 2 selected warlord traits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then he has the legendary commander aura, which is standard within 6 inches. Reroll 1s to hit and wound.
Perfect. That's good. As long as you kept that, that's huge.
Yeah. And then he's got moment shackle. Once per battle, you can do one of the following. At the end of the fight phase, if this model is within engagement range of an enemy unit, it can fight again. When a saving throw is failed with this model, the damage characteristics of this attack is changed to 0.
Ooh. And
after an enemy unit has fought, if the model is eligible to fight, you can fight with it next. So free interrupt.
So free interrupt. Potentially, if you get hit by something that's flat 6 damage, then you can ignore it.
0. Or fight again.
Good.
Or fight again.
Those are good. So before we used to have heal D3 wounds, fight again, or we used to have get command points. I prefer the ones that we've got now because the D3 extra wounds sounds good, but you end up rolling 1. So being able to ignore the damage overall, that's just huge.
Yeah. So that's Valoris. So I think he sounds pretty tasty. What else do you want to know? What's next on your list?
Right. Okay. So we all need to know Valerian because at the moment, let's face it, he sucks.
Okay.
And he's never been to be fielded. We've all bought him and have never used him. He is here. He's painted for 3 years. 3 years.
So Valerian, right? So he has move 6, 2/2, strength 5, toughness 5, 7 wounds, 6 attacks.
Yep.
And then 2+ save and leadership 11. So his shooting attack is rapid fire 1, strength 4, -1, 2 damage. And then his melee is +2 strength, -4, 2 damage. That is and then he says each time this attack is made with this weapon is allocated to an enemy model. That enemy model can't use any rules to ignore the wounds it loses. So no feel no pain against it.
That's not just feel no pain, so there's no ignoring wounds. Does that affect things that can only take a minimum amount of damage?
I guess so. It says each time the attack is made with this weapon is allocated to an enemy model, that enemy model can't use any rules to ignore the wounds it lost.
So that's massive. You can take out Catans. And you said it was strength +3 -4, or was it strength
+2 strength? So it's strength +2 -4, 2 damage.
So strength 8,
6 attacks.
Strength 7. Okay, that's big. That's what. To get anything else?
So he then gets the Inspirational Fighter. So he gets the reroll hit rolls within 6 inches. Then he gets Heroes of the Lion's Gate. Each time an attack is made against this model, an unmodified wound roll of 1 to 3 always fails.
So he's going
So
to
he
get
gets
a
built-in transhuman.
Yes. Yep. How many points is he?
And then his last rule is he has the Golden Laurels. Once per battle round, you can re-roll a single hit wound roll, charge roll, or saving throw for this model.
He's fieldable. He's so good.
So his points are, let's have a look. What's his points? His points are Valerian, 140 points.
140 points for all of that.
140 points for all of that.
He is coming. Little shoulder puppet now. He is everything. So I need to know though, because obviously he's named characters, so he's going to have a specific Warlord trait.
Yeah.
Can I find out Warlord traits for Trajan and for him?
Yes, we can. We can find out that. Before we go back, we'll look at that in a second. Are there any other units you want to have a look at before we move on? Because I'm just conscious of time, and we probably need to wrap up the review relatively soon. So we'll definitely look at those Warlord traits, but let's see a couple other units before we finish up.
So the next one we really need to know then is Bike Captain.
Bike Captain.
We need to know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've already seen the Terminator, and we're not about the normal one.
So the bike captain moves 14, and then 2/2 as always, strength 5, toughness 6, 9 wounds. Because I looked at that and I thought, wow, 9 wounds, 9 wounds, 6 attacks. It's pretty tasty. And his lance, so I don't think the rest of it changed that much. So then his salvo launch. Oh, actually, I don't know. So the Hurricane Bolter, rapid fire 6, strength 4, -0, 1 damage. The salvo launcher, 24 inches, heavy 1, strength 8, -4, D3 +3. Was it that before?
No, it wasn't. It was D. It was D. I'll be honest. I've never normally take them because they're so bad.
And then
not good.
And then you've got the lance. While you look at that, so then the lance is +2, -3, 2 damage. Each time the bearer makes a melee attack with this weapon, if it made a charge move, it add 1 to the attack wound roll. So +1 to wound when it charges.
We've lost the rerolls.
Yes.
So
no
we used to get full rerolls, but they were higher strength. You said strength 7, so they were strength 6.
Yes, strength 7.
We do better with the reroll of 1s. And we can get +1 to wound against things anyway. So
yes,
I like it. That's good. And the salvo launchers used to be strength 8 -4 D6 damage again, and you can reroll fail wound rolls against.
Yeah, they're much better than D3 +3 is much better than D6.
better, much better. Yeah.
Any other units?
I
really rated him though. I thought that sound 9 wounds is just amazing.
Yeah, I mean the normal bikes themselves. I mean that's a big one.
Let's have a little look at the normal bikes. So the Praetors, they are 14/2/2, strength 5, toughness 6. They are 5 wounds each. Attack, and then 4 attacks each. Sorry, 4 attacks each, 5 wounds.
So what? I've got a blank. Yeah, they were already 4 attacks, and they've gone up a wound. So 4 attacks, but 5 wounds. That means that's good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that. I guess all their things are going to be the same, so that's good. I mean we've got Alaria as well, but no one really not really remembering her. Let's face it.
Yeah, so let's have a look at those Warlord traits before we wrap things up. And let's have a look.
I'm super impressed with both characters. Really hitting the mark. I think Valerian is going to be an auto include for me in all this.
It sounds like really useful, right? Really useful. Right, Warlord traits. Here we go. So, Valerian has Peerless Warrior, which I think was the one you liked, which was the Mortal Wounds one.
He's just getting better.
And then Valorous has Champion of the Imperium, which is the heroic intervention one.
Okay.
And reroll hits.
Yeah, so he gets reroll his own hits and heroic intervene. Yeah.
Yeah, within 6. And he gets the Master of Martial Tactics strategy. So that's the one where he can change the he gets that's the 5+ command refund and the change the Qatars around.
Yeah, come on. I can't see a list. Right, straight up top of the head, Valerian, Flores, and a bike captain. Oh, Darren, here it comes.
Absolutely. So look, this has been a lot longer video than we'd hoped for, guys. But your initial thoughts on the codex, like we're seeing so far?
Stratagems, a little bit of a deeply sort of run down, but a lot of the stratagems incorporated in like karate moves and things like that, so we don't really need them. Overall, very excited. I think we're going to be busting some heads.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, there'll be loads more for Grant to delve into when he really gets his hands in it, and he can really kind of start to work out the combos. And this is only really a first impressions, but hopefully, you guys got an opportunity to kind of see what the book's all about, get some reaction from somebody that actually plays the army, and hopefully, it's been useful for you guys. But yeah, with that, this is a really long video, but hopefully, you've enjoyed it. There'll be, if this is going to come out pretty similar to the time that actually Grant will be playing that game, so there'll be links. Wish him luck. Let us know in the comments how he's going to do against the Gene Stealer cult. And you'll see this guy very, very soon. You'll see me very, very soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.